Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to show you how to make your own popsicle stick lantern. You'll get to decorate it in a cool way. But before we do that, thank you again to everyone who keeps sending in pictures and videos of all the fun things that they're doing, whether it's with the kit, here at the library, or at home on your own. We love seeing them, so please keep sharing them and we'll feature them in one of our future videos.
Okay, in your kit for today's project, we've got at least 16 popsicle sticks. We've got some crayons in there. We've got some wax paper. And you've got a little tea light as well.
We are also going to be using a pair of scissors, some tape, a hot glue gun, and probably an iron, so you're going to need an adult's help with this. Just be careful. And then we've got this little grater. If you have something like... we're going to have to grate the crayons to kind of get some shaving. So anything you can use to do that.
Step number one. Step number one. What were you going to do? Well, Kristen will tell you what step number one is, because I know exactly what we have to do.
The first thing we're going to do is get that cool design that's going to go on the sides of our lanterns. And the way we're going to do that is using the wax paper, the crayons, and whatever you're using to kind of get those shavings off the crayons.
While you do that, I'll start with making the four sides of this lantern using the popsicle sticks and some hot glue. For the sides, it's really easy. You're just going to take two popsicle sticks, lay them down just a distance apart from each other that two other popsicle sticks can make a square. That's it. And you just want to hot glue it, and you'll do that 4 times.
So the way we're going to make the design on the sides of our lanterns, we're going to use the wax paper, which I've cut about 2 square feet you should have in your kit. So I've cut that into 2 equal pieces, so I have like a bottom sheet and a top sheet. And on one of those, I'm going to start grating the crayons so that the shavings fall on the paper.
You know what one popsicle stick said to the other?
What?
I have no idea. I don't have this joke down. We'll add it in post-production. Ooh, that looks nice. Be careful for your fingers when you're cutting up the crayons.
All right, so I have a bunch of shavings on that one piece of wax paper, and I just kind of layered colors that I think might look cool together when they're melted together. So I'm going to take that second piece of wax paper and lay it right over top. And now I'm just going to iron on top of this other sheet so that the shavings melt onto the wax paper. I'm going to do this right on the table because this is our work table. It's fine, but if you're doing this at home on your kitchen table or something like that, put something underneath if you have like a newspaper or something like that, just in case there's any mess. Whoa.
Wow, that's fast. Look at that.
All right. Works fast. I'm just running the iron very gently, very lightly over the wax paper to let those shavings melt.
Looks great.
So really that was only about 1 or 2 passes over with very gentle pressure, just enough to melt the wax. And what we're going to do is just let it cool for a minute before we cut it up and add it to our frame.
While Kristen has been having all this fun with crayons, I made 4 squares. And this is really the most important part, okay?
Agreed.
This gives us the template of where we need to cut our melted crayons. So really without this, the project can't continue. So let's go on with that.
So go ahead, lay those frames out, and we'll just roughly trace where we're going to cut it so we can get the colors and the patterns that we want. Is what we're going to do next is cut up this wax paper and glue it to the inside of each frame.
Now that we have the squares traced out onto our wax paper, what I'll do here is I'm going to lay out these squares, these 4 squares. I'm just going to put a little bit of tape in between so that it kind of makes like a hinge so we can swing each panel up, and we'll use some hot glue to just glue it in place as a cube with the top and the bottom open. Okay? So I'm just sticking the tape down just on one side of the panels so that when they are done, they swing like that.
So with the 4 wax paper squares cut out, what you can do now is we've still got 2 pieces that are sandwiched together. You can leave them like that, that's fine, or you can try and peel them apart, see what happens. When I peel these apart, all the crayons, all the wax is sticking to one sheet, so that's fine. I'm going to take them apart. Hopefully the light will shine through a little bit easier if there's just one sheet. But if you start to peel yours apart and it's sticking to both sides, just leave both sheets. It'll work just fine.
So now that we have our panels peeled off, they're cut to the right size, we're just kind of laying them out just to see where we want each one. We're making it so that the crayon is going to be on the inside of the lantern. So the outside will still be just the wax paper. You won't be touching the crayon, so it shouldn't come off once it's all together.
I think since we have the hot glue out and ready to go already, we'll just attach these with a couple dots of hot glue onto the popsicle sticks.
So now we'll just fold these up into a square. Like this. In this part here, we're just going to use the hot glue gun just to get some of the corners locked in. And you just want to be careful not to glue your fingers or anything. And just be patient to let the glue dry.
And our last step is just to turn on our little tea light and drop it into our lantern and see how we did.
That looks great.
Pretty cool.
That's the best nightlight yet. How do trees go on the internet?
The Wood Wide Web.
No. They have to first log in.
Okay, but the Wood Wide Web is funny and accurate, scientifically accurate.